right. The one thing I hate most about live videos is waiting for people to come in to the video, because if you don't jump in right away, like let's say you're watching this video after the fact, after I publish it, you're not watching it live. Isn't it annoying when you go to watch a video that was live and you've got like 30 seconds of dead air of someone just waiting for people to tune in? Like you can't talk. You can't talk until you tune in. So I guess I need to figure that thing out about, what's the proper protocol for a live video? Do you wait until people come in so you're not talking to yourself? Or do you just start talking to yourself knowing that there are going to be people who watch the video after the fact? Anyway, it's been a long day, man. It's been a long day. So I'm leaving. I'm on my way home from Austin. I went to the Capitol there to talk about these red flag laws and safe storage laws. Let me tell you how the day started. Pretty well, but I don't know what it is about me. I think when I go to the Capitol, I think that like problems stick to me like Texas humidity sticks to my body. It's just, no matter where I go, something's got to happen. There's got to be drama. So I go to the Capitol, and if you haven't been to the Capitol, if you have a license to carry or a handgun license, you can actually skip the line to go into the Capitol. You don't have to go through the metal detector. There's a special line just for people with a license to carry, so you can carry your firearm into the Capitol. And so that's the line I always go to. So I went in there and I handed them my license, my out-of-state non-resident license, and they call it in like they're supposed to do. And so she comes back and she's like, "Are you sure?" or whatever. And so she's like, "Mr. Grisham, your license is coming back revoked." And I'm like, "No, no, no. It was revoked when I got arrested in Olmos Park, but it was reinstated." And I said, "If you look on there, I mean, it even says right there, June 5th, reinstated." So she got back on the phone, and I was like, "Can you ask him just to call Virginia? Because I promise you, I wouldn't be carrying on a revoked license. I'm sure there are cops out there just itching to catch me breaking the law and unlawful carry and all that. Boy, they're itching for it." So anyway, there was, they kept trying to talk through it, and come to find out that, they're like, "Look, we've got access to the system. It's updated, and it's saying that it's revoked." And I'm like, "Okay, well, let me call them then," because they're like, "Yeah, you've got to call." So I called Virginia and got on the phone, and come to find out what had happened was when they revoked my license after the Olmos Park thing, they put 2019 as the date and not 2018. So when they reinstated it for 2018, but the system still had a revocation of 2019, and it created this glitch, sort of like a loop, that made it impossible to reinstate my license. So that took about 40 minutes. But let me tell you, I have had issues with DPS in the past. A lot of issues. With Region 7 DPS specifically, the Capitol guys. But I had the coolest conversation today with one of the deputies or troopers that I probably ever have, because trust me, I was a little nervous when she said that my license was revoked, because I'm like, great, now here's their chance. Now they're going to throw me in jail until they can prove that until I can prove that I'm actually legal. And so she's like, "Look, Mr. Grisham, I know that you are always doing everything within the law, that you know the law, that you're not doing anything wrong, and that you definitely didn't intend to do anything wrong. So I'm not worried about this. If we can't get it fixed, I'll let you can go back to your car, you can put your gun away, and we're not going to harass you or anything about it, because I know it's an honest mistake, or until it gets resolved. If we can't get it resolved right now, we'll we're not going to give you a hard time." And it really, I feel like there's been, I don't know if it's an education or, I mean, it worked. It worked that the constant struggle of trying to get people to do the right thing and recognize that just because someone may or may not have done something wrong, that they should always be treated like criminals, you know? And so I really finally, and honestly, I've felt respect from certain people in DPS over there, but I really felt like for the first time, and this is kind of sad, I felt like I was a person that was respected by DPS because they recognize that I'm not trying to make trouble. I just want my rights, and I do everything as legally as I can. So anyway, that was the start of my day this morning. I got there and I had to wait about 45 minutes for my license to clear, and we finally got everything fixed. They fixed it in the system. DPS called back because the guy said go ahead and have them call it back again. So they called back or checked their system. Everything was good. They let me in. But kudos to Region 7 DPS for being professional and respectful and not being jerks, because we got enough of those kinds of people. All right, so here are some ruminations about this hearing today. Look, it breaks my heart, and it really does make me emotional when I think about these kids who testified today about the fact that their classmates were murdered by a psychopath. I don't even know what to call it. It breaks my heart that those kids in Santa Fe were slaughtered. I was there this weekend, and on the way home I stopped by Santa Fe High School just to look at the high school and kind of take it in a little bit. And they have a big display out front. They got a bunch of flowers, some empty chairs, and that tugs on my heartstrings. It really does. And it breaks my heart that that's what happened. But man, what also breaks my heart is that these kids don't realize what the real problem is with our gun laws. It wasn't the fact that we didn't have safe storage laws or that we didn't have red flag laws in place. Santa Fe and every school is the ultimate gun control utopia. It is the one place where every gun control law in the country exists. Because it doesn't matter if you've got a background check. It doesn't matter if you've been fingerprinted. It doesn't matter if you're over the age of 21. It doesn't matter if you're licensed. It doesn't matter if you're a felon. It doesn't matter if you're a law-abiding citizen. It doesn't matter. No gun law in the world matters when you go to a school, because none of it matters. None of your rights exist to carry a firearm on school property. So theoretically, the ultimate gun control law is in effect at a K through 12 school, and it failed. And so it boggles my mind that we're debating more laws when the ultimate law, the one law, which is complete ban on firearms, concealed, open, any weapons, completely banned. And yet a shooter went in there and slaughtered a bunch of kids. And it not only does that break my heart, but it just breaks my heart that these kids are just, and it's hard to talk about this because people will consider it disrespectful because, oh, these are kids. But look, when you're a kid and you're going to the legislature and you're getting involved in political issues, then you're acting like an adult, and it's time to talk like an adult. These kids are misinformed, and in the truest sense of the word, they're ignorant, and they don't realize that they're there testifying against their own best interest. They're testifying against their own liberty, and not a single one of them mentioned the fact that they were a victim in a gun-free zone. They're there testifying, saying that we need safe storage laws. We need these red flag laws And yet neither of those laws would have protected them, because even if he got a gun elsewhere, he took a gun onto a school campus where a gun is not supposed to be. That's the first law that got broken. The second law that got broken is he started murdering people. But yet these kids think, because their parents brainwash them and the education system brainwashes them, they think that the problem is me. And to hear kids use logic that is illogical, like, you know, the fact that I believe that my right to have a firearm trumps their right to live. Well, no, my right to live is why I have a firearm. I carry a firearm so that I can protect my right to live. That's why I want teachers to be able to carry, because I want those kids to not have to testify anymore. Man, that breaks your heart. You know, I sit here and I listen to them and I can't help but I want to cry, and I just get so angry thinking about the fact that for the rest of their lives, these kids are going to have to deal with the fact that a shooter came in and murdered their friends, their brothers, their sisters, their teachers. That they had to probably run through pools of blood. That they had to see the after effects of such a violent thing. But that they think that the answer to solving that problem is making it harder for everyone else. And by restricting liberty and by taking away people's due process rights. So what the hearing today really boiled down to was emotion versus liberty. And it really does. It just saddens me that there were so many people there that are so willing to ignore the fact that laws were broken in order for these shootings that every one of them talked about. Laws were broken. And yet, somewhere in their mindset, they think that more laws is going to stop people from breaking the law. It just boggles my mind. But look, the irony here is that every single person that testified today wants the same thing. We want fewer shootings. We want our children to feel and be safe when they go to school. I want my daughter to come home every day from school. And the problem is that we've got two fundamentally different ways of how we think we can accomplish that. And that's, I don't know how we get past that. But I think it needs to start with people waking up and recognizing, instead of going, gee, there was a tragedy at this school, my friends just got shot. Instead of thinking, what laws do we need to stop this? They need to be thinking, wait a minute, why did the laws not work? We have a law against murdering children in school. Heck, we have a law against taking a gun to school and not murdering people. Why didn't the law work? So that's really what it boiled down to today. And we've really got to be vigilant, guys. If you believe in liberty, okay, liberty is dangerous. And I'm not saying that we need to have anarchy, but you can't take any time that there is high emotions, and really the entire argument for safe storage laws and for red flag laws is purely based on emotion. Purely based on emotion. And there should never, ever, ever be a law passed based on any emotion, ever. It needs to be passed on common sense. And I was very happy to hear a lot of people also talk about the fact that safe storage laws are actually unconstitutional in Texas because the legislature only has the power to regulate the wearing of arms, not the storage of arms. So Anyway, we're going to keep fighting this. I'm going to keep fighting this. I'm going to keep educating people. I talked a lot about the PTSD aspect, and there was a lot of talk about suicide. And let me tell you what the worst thing you can do for someone who is suicidal. Take away that person's liberty. Take away that person's freedoms. If you think someone is suicidal now, try taking away their freedoms and their rights. Tell them that they aren't worthy of being able to have their life defended. You tell that to a suicidal person, and tell me what the end result of that is going to be. That is not how you deal with a suicidal person. You deal with a suicidal person by sitting them down, listening to them, and redirecting their minds onto something that is important to them and that helps them to see that they are important, that they are someone that has meaning in life, that nothing in this life is worth taking your own life over. You don't do that by taking away liberty. You don't. I'm telling you what, you want to see suicidal go to anger, and I mean, tell me that, hey, someone said that you were thinking about committing suicide, so you've got to turn over all your guns. Now I'm not suicidal anymore. Now I'm gearing up. I'm putting my body armor on. All right. So now I've really found some purpose for living, and that's to protect my guns. You just motivated me, government. That's not how we do it. That's the wrong way to do it. That is not how you treat a suicidal person. And yet that's exactly what everyone is arguing that's trying to get these red flag laws. Oh, we've got to save people from killing themselves. You don't do that by stealing their property and stripping them of their rights. Right. That was pretty much it. That's I just wanted to give that quick wrap up. We've got to oppose these things. We have laws on the books right now, and if they're not working, then we need to repeal them. But they're not working because we're not enforcing them. That's the problem. But if we've got laws on the books and those laws aren't doing what they're intended to do, then we need to strip them from the books. All right, guys. I'm almost home. Thanks for listening to my bloviating. I'm going to go through it. I saw some comments. I'll tell you what, I've got a few minutes, and I don't want to take my eyes off the road too much. So I'll take a few minutes of questions until I get off the highway, since it's a straightaway here. Safe travels. Thanks, Jim. I'm almost home. So, yes, laws mean nothing without the rule of law. Absolutely. If a law is impossible to follow or people don't know about it, what good is it? All right. So, anybody got any questions about anything? Let's see. Anybody? Anybody? Going once? Going twice? Tell you what. Nope. No Nacho? Nocho? CJ Grisham, need a rally in Leon Valley. I need to show off my M45A1. Okay. All right. So here's the thing in Leon Valley. Look, guys. Let me just tell you, I have not been turning my blind eye or turning a blind eye to Leon Valley. There's two issues at stake here. First is that this isn't a gun rights issue. Now bear with me here, okay? Don't jump all over me yet, because I'm gonna tie this in. This isn't a gun rights issue. And Open Carry Texas is a gun rights nonprofit. We are a nonprofit. We're a 501c4, and by charter or by law, we have to stick to our mission. And if we allocate resources outside of our mission focus, we can lose our status as a nonprofit. And right now, whether I like it or not, there is no Second Amendment issue in Texas. Now, I heard some things on the video that concerned me, and I'm addressing those issues with the chief. I will tell you this. I have been talking directly to the chief of police. He said some things that reassure me, and he said some things that I've asked for additional information on. But I can tell you those activists that have been assaulted, that have been kidnapped, and had their private property stolen from them is wrong. But when they were released, the guys that weren't charged with anything, here's what boggles my mind. This blows my mind. When these guys were released, the ones that had firearms, all their firearms were given back to them. Their guns, their ammo, their magazines. I mean, nothing was kept. Some departments, they'll give you the gun back, but they'll say you got to come back for the ammo, and they won't even give you back the ammo. But they gave everything back. What they didn't give back are the cameras. What does that tell you that Leon Valley thinks is more dangerous? You know, I think cameras are the leading career killer in law enforcement. So maybe they are deadly because they kill more careers than anything else. All right, let's see. I thought I saw something here. So from a Second Amendment standpoint, there's just no reason for me to get involved. And then from a Patriot standpoint, me personally, there's no reason for me to get involved, and I'll tell you why. Look, guys, I travel this state. I've been arrested in 3 different cities. I've had guns pointed at me in 2 other cities, stretching all the way from Abilene down to Brownsville, and then places in between. I've been tased in San Antonio. I've had AR-15s pointed at me in Abilene. So let's just say I've got skin in the game. If this is important to people, guys, I can't be the one person, because it's gonna kill me if I get involved in everything that everyone else is doing. Those guys need good leadership, and they have good leadership, but they have got to get organized. As long as they continue, and I say they, but I mean, I'm a First Amendment activist as well. I believe that those guys were treated much worse than I was treated in Olmos Park. Those guys have been treated much worse than I've ever been treated. I have never seen the kind of tyranny or witnessed or experienced the kind of tyranny that I've seen in Leon Valley. And what disturbs me is how the department is trying to excuse that behavior. But I am doing stuff in the background, so I'm involved. But look, I'm going to be blunt. If you guys want to rally in Leon Valley, no rhyme intended, organize a rally. All right? If someone else organizes a rally and it's organized and it's coordinated and it's done professionally, you have my support, and I'll be there. My lack of involvement in Leon Valley, my lack of overt involvement in Leon Valley does not mean I don't support those guys, and it doesn't mean that I condone what's happening there. What it means is this is a perfect opportunity for someone else to step up to the plate, because we can't rely on 1 or 2 people. George Washington didn't get our independence alone. It took a lot of people taking a stand. And so a lot of people need to take a stand. I mean, you've got John Adams and Sam Adams and Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin, and you got a lot of people that took leadership roles. But those guys know what I'm doing in the background. So I am working with the First Amendment activists, and I'm also trying to get some accountability. I've got open records requests going. I'm in contact with the Attorney General. I'm in contact with the police department. I'm in contact with the city. I'm in contact with the district attorney in Bexar County. But I am not, so please stop asking, I am not going to organize a rally in Leon Valley. And when you guys do organize one, you need to call it the Rally in Leon Valley. There you go. I did my part. I named it the Rally in Leon Valley. And then it needs to be like, Sunday, 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 come to the rally in Leon Valley. That's what you got to do. There you go. I gave you a name. I've done my part. My good deed for patriotism has been done. All right. Let's see if I saw something else there. I hate talking. I really do. People are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable. Yeah, very true. Go read the Declaration of Independence. Absolutely. And Thomas Paine also. Go read Thomas Paine. All right, so HBO Matt. All right, so check it out. I agree with you about the 4603 thing is wrong. Here's why I'm telling people to stop. This is why we don't challenge the 4603 issue, because we're already challenging it. We've got several court cases going on right now that challenge the 4603 in a multi-use facility. So it doesn't happen. It doesn't do any good to just continue challenging and getting arrested, challenging, getting arrested, challenging, and getting arrested. When you've got all of these court cases, all you're doing is needlessly wasting money and stressing yourself out when we've already got case law going on right now. It's already being challenged. So what we have told guys in open carry Texas is, if you see a 4603 sign, or if you see, no guns here because it's a courthouse, even if it's an illegal sign, or and believe me, they're all illegal, then just leave it alone. Just because you're going to get arrested for no reason, or for a reason, when we've already got case law going out there. And really the only purpose of getting arrested is to create the case law, but people have already done that. And we've got civil and criminal cases going on. So that's why we're not going to rally about the 4603 sign, because we're already on top of that, and it just doesn't make any sense going around the entire state wasting resources at every place where there's an illegal 4603 sign, because it's in the hands of the court right now. And then, heck, we might even get legislation to clarify that before we get a court order on it. But that's why the 4603 thing, we just need to tell people to kind of chill out on that, because we're already all over it. I hope that makes sense. All right. Hey, Wolfman, thank you for what you do, brother. Thanks for what all you guys do out there. And I'm going to leave with this, because I am almost home. I don't see any. I mean, if you guys asked a question and I missed it, you might want to repost it. But I'm going to leave with this. I'll tell you what. I am so honored every day to be associated with the kinds of patriots that I've come to meet and get to know, even if they're through fake names like Texas Wolfman. And I mean, some of those guys, I know their real names, but even just their handles, what an honor it is to be able to coordinate and work with patriots. And I realize we all have our own thing. Let me tell you why liberty dies. Because, and this is why the statists and the communists and the socialists are winning, because when you look at liberalism, and I'm going to make this a liberal conservative thing, although in some ways liberals are much better at defending the First Amendment as conservatives. Of course, conservatives are better at defending the Second Amendment as liberals. But freedom is freedom. And when the liberals get together and they have, let's say, a pro-baby killing rally where they get to celebrate how many babies they've murdered in their lifetime, guess who shows up? It's not just baby murderers. You've got the people who want a quote-unquote living wage, $15 an hour. You've got the gun control people that show up. You've got the universal health care people that show up. You've got the pro-illegal immigration people that show up. And all of the liberal causes combine, and they always come together. So even though it's a pro-baby killer rally, you've got all the liberal groups that show up and support each other. On the other side, and this is what I like about these First Amendment guys, and this is why if there's a rally, a First Amendment rally, what we need to do in the liberty movement is, if there's a pro-gun rally, then the pro-Fourth Amendment guys need to show up. The pro-10th Amendment guys need to show up. The pro-First Amendment guys need to show up, and vice versa. If there's a First Amendment rally, the Second Amendment guys need to show up. And I'm not talking about just showing up and filming and doing kind of or even just showing up with guns and just, a couple people here, a couple people there. I'm talking about when we do these organized rallies, we need to invite and welcome everyone that believes in freedom. and unite our numbers. This is why our numbers are so small and theirs are so big. It's not that everyone believes in gun control, although generally liberals agree with all those things down the line. The problem is they're welcoming to all these other issues, whereas on the conservative side, you know, if it's a pro-veteran rally, they don't want people carrying guns and Second Amendment guys. They don't want First Amendment guys there. They only want people who are there to support the veterans or who are there to support whatever that liberty cause is. And we need to get together, man. We really do. It drives me nuts when these 2A people criticize 1A people and 1A people criticize 2A people. This is about liberty, man. This is about the Constitution. And there are things that I don't like, some of the auditors that they do. I don't like what they do. But I'll tell you what, I will take a bullet defending their right to do it. And I'm not going to criticize them just because I don't like it. They have every right to do it as long as they're not breaking the law and they're being peaceful. Do your thing, man. It's not how I would do things, but then there's a lot of people who won't do things the way I do things. And I get that. You don't have to like what I do, but support what I do and support what we do because it's freedom. That's what freedom is about. You don't have to agree with it. You just got to support it. And we need to stop attacking each other on those kinds of things. All right, now I'm on my bumpy road, so I can't see anything. All right, so I'm on a dark country road. So if I missed your questions, I'm sorry. Anyway, guys, stay strong. God bless you all. Do the right thing. Choose the hard right over the easy wrong. Always know what's right and what's wrong. Choose that hard right over the easy wrong. And above all, be free, man. Be free.